Well, it's that time, folks. We're going to let's go do some trailer testing on the XTF. So we got the jack in the back, and we're going to drive out to the trailer yard and do some setup and see what it takes to transfer it over from street to tow mode. And yeah, we'll do a little bit of road testing and see how the truck behaves. Stand by. All right. Well, the first step I'm going to do right now is I measure the stance of the truck. So I've got 41 inches from the ground to the top of the wheel well right there. So we're going to try and at least keep that stance when it's all loaded. I'm probably going to go up to like maybe 41 and a half or something like that, just to give it a little bit more room. So then hopefully we can see everything in here. If not, yeah, it looks like it's okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the collar from here to here. I brought a jack, and then there's a secondary collar. Not sure if you can see it in there. Let's see. Right here, that I need to spin down so it makes contact with this. And what I'll do is it will lock out this spring, and we'll basically be just on that spring, because right now we're on both for the supple ride. And that's how you set it up if you're going to jump it, and it sets up you know, some some compression give, I guess, if you will, until it gets on it compresses both springs. So instead of compressing against a solid stop, it's compressing against another spring, which kind of gives it a little more of a slowdown, more progression. Yeah, so I will jack the truck up each side, and again it's 41 inches, and then, you know, let me measure. Stand by. And then that is about just shy of 4.5, almost 4 and about 4 3/8, maybe a little bit more, somewhere in there. I'll get an accurate measurement so that we end up right back where we were when we're all done, because I want to be able to quickly put it back and forth. So let's hook up the trailer and see where it ends up. Stand by. All right, well, now we got a squatted truck, and I don't have the load levelers on there. So let's see how far it went down. So we were at 41, so stand by. And so now we're like right at, I don't know, 38 3/4. So yeah, it did squat quite a bit. So let's put the bars on there and see where we end up. I'll get the jack, and I'll put the jack under there, jack it up, and then set that, and then after that we'll mess with the springs. So stand by. All right, and just like that, we've got the weight distribution hitch bars, or load levelers, or whatever you want to call them. We got those installed, and the truck is up a little bit more, less than a low rider. Still haven't messed with the springs yet, and I think we're at 39 7/8. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Oop. Bye. Yeah, pretty close. No, 39 5/8. So still need to come up a little bit. So I guess now we need to go mess with this. And we also, it's real soft now with all that extra weight. So, or spongy, I guess. We don't want that going down the road. Plus, I don't have my bump stops in. So we're definitely going to raise that. So next order of business is to take this little ring and drive it down to here so it engages this phenolic piece. For that, I need to have weight off the truck, so I'll put the jack under this side and I spin this down so it touches. That'll lock out this spring, and then I'll go ahead and I'll probably at the same time I'll take the opportunity and move that spring down probably 2 inches and see what happens. All right, stand by. All right, so about 10 minutes into it, I've got this side jacked up. You can see how much it separates, still on the ground, even with the street suspension in. And then, I don't know if you see, there's that collar. There's 2 of them. That's where the other one was like right here, and I've rolled that one down to right here, and that's as far down as it goes. So when I unload the truck, it will this will end up on here, and it will it'll basically lock out. I think it locks out this spring, so that basically we're just on this one. And then I think I'm at 5.5 right there. Let me measure that out just to make sure. Let's go on the other side. I think you're gonna have to trust me on this one. Doing it one-handed. Yeah, basically 5.5. So again, we're looking for about 41 on the outside to retain the stock height. I'd like to be a little higher since I'm gonna have, that's empty right now for the test. So 5.5, we'll see where that gets us. Stand by. All right, so that actually doesn't look too bad. Now, granted, that's up higher because I haven't done the other wheel yet. So I'm gonna go over there and do that. So it's 5.5 on the, I think up from like 4 1/4. And then, it's definitely flatter on this side. And again, we were at 41 before, so hold on. Let me get the tape measure out. And now, granted, we still have to come up on the other side. We're at, I don't know, I'll call that 42.5-ish. So we're up at 1.5 inches, which is kind of where I wanted to be, because it'll settle some more when the truck's on there. The trailer has a little bit of a low rider in the back, so it's higher in the front, so it's not quite level. But again, when I load the trailer, it should come down 1 inch, I'm hoping, and we can definitely play with that. So let me jump over the other side and do the same thing. So stand by. All right, well, there it is. So it's 43 inches from 41, so I'm up about 2, maybe 1 7/8. And again, the trailer has a little bit of a slope down, which I can actually fix with those 2 bolts right there and just lower the hitch if I need to. But the overall stance of the truck looks correct. Yeah, so the front came up just a little bit, I think, and then the back is up. So I'm gonna go take it for a ride empty and just see how it drives, and then we'll have to think about what to do with the trailer. It's definitely high, in my opinion, in the front. So that's something I could probably just address at the house. Maybe I'll do that. I'll drive over there and just put it down 1 bolt hole, and see how that looks. It's probably all it needs. So let's go for a drive and see what it looks like. Trailer is hooked up, sitting back there, and I guess we'll go see how it drives. So stand by. I guess we'll find out together. Stand by. Alright, so idling out of the yard seems okay. truck isn't too wishy-washy. Anyway, let's see how this goes. You can definitely tell the truck is up in the back. Might have it set actually too high. I'm just going over some speed bumps here. Just make sure that the steering is still responsive, which it feels like it is. Of course, I'm only doing like 20 right now, but yeah, we've got the sway bars in and the 3-link. So let's see. It's a balmy 40 degrees out here today. Yeah, so overall, I don't really feel the trailer back there. I got the jack in the back, so I'm not sure if you're going to hear all that mess. Here's the first brake. Trailer. I don't really mess with the trailer brakes yet on this thing. Probably need to do that as well. I'll probably do a quick check here, make sure that they actually work. Yep, they hold the truck. And off we go. Yeah, so, yeah, not too bad. It's pulling like you would expect. I mean, we have a 5,500 pound vehicle, 750 horse, or 800, whatever it dynoed at on 93. Brakes seem like they work good. It's pulling it no problem. Truck feels pretty sure-footed. That's the first stop. You know, went from 40. Just get out here on the highway a little bit. Overall visibility without the trailer mirrors is exactly the same. I think with, you know, since F-150, I would tell you that the fenders on the XTF sticking way out now are even with the basically the outside of the trailer. Tells you about how wide this thing is. So I know, like, when I go to back up now, as long as the fenders are even with the side of the trailer, the hitch is in the center, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so here's the little highway. We'll do some high-speed stuff here. And I'm not using tow mode. Just doing regular. Why I decided to do that, but right there, as it went to go pull on the trailer, it spun the tires. So maybe tow mode is warranted. Settle down the turbos. So I'm in tow mode now, doing about 60. Just holding 5th gear. Really wanting to upshift. I know in tow mode it won't really go into 10th. Still holding 3,000. See what happens. 65. There it goes. It's shifting. Transmission, I think, is pretty cold too. So I know it's got that using it, so it might be a combination. Okay, and the transmission still downshifting in tow mode to help me brake. So all those OEM features are definitely retained. Took the turn and speed there, no problem. Yeah, I'm not feeling the trailer back there at all, other than the extra weight. I tell you, the truck's actually rides really nice. A little worried about having the big tires back there on the truck. It does have a little, maybe a slight hint of wobble, I guess, wobbly, if it's even a word. But I think that might be, I'm running the tires right now a little soft, only because I haven't checked them in a while, and I just noticed they were a little low. Probably worth taking a look at that. Here we go, another turn. Just turn right in, no issue. Yeah, tow mode, definitely the way to go with these, so that turbos don't try and kick in too quick and definitely roll the tires. When I try to pull out into traffic there, at the beginning it was just roll the tires over. So cold pavement, cold tires, a lot of weight. Yeah, and I was kind of wondering, would I get that worm effect? Where you go over a bump and the truck kind of like does that inchworm, and I'm not. This is a country back road right now, and those Fox shocks seem to eat it up pretty good. Dampening seems pretty decent. Again, with the trailer empty and everything, I'm not sure if the characteristics will change much. I guess it really depends on how I load the trailer, how much tongue weight I get on it. I could definitely move, with the extra height I have right now, I could definitely move the car up a little bit further into the nose of the trailer. Yeah, I'd say this is fine. Let's take a pause on this, and I'll get out to the big hill that we have around here, and see how that works. I'd like to do some downhill stuff as well. But yeah, let me take a pause on that. All right. Well, it's got done through the back roads. No real big issue there. I am noticing the water temps up around 210. Transmission still 150. So it isn't getting much higher than 210. It's back down to 205. Got down to 200 or so, which I don't know. I think I've got a 185 thermostat in there or whatever, but there's no telling. I mean, that's what it says on it. And this is average coming off of the OBD2, so I don't have an actual water temp gauge plumbed into the actual coolant. But yeah, so it just stopped, and basically it's sitting at 205 now. So the hill's right up here. It's about, I'd say it's about 12%. Goes for, I don't know, about a mile. So it's a big one. So we'll see how this goes. Transmission's at 156 at the beginning, and coolant's at 210. Oil pressure's hanging tough. So let's see, this is the big initial piece. have probably brought the data logger to see what was going on with the tune. Meant to do that. Yeah, we're already back down to 190 on the cooling. So probably definitely a thing. You know, maybe transmission or the water radiator. I don't know. Might have some air in it. I'll take a look at it. Look at it real good. It's hovering around 195, which is where I would expect. So 195 to 220, and I was hammering up the hill pretty good. So it definitely cools back off. Might just need to think about getting a bigger radiator if we're going to do a lot of towing, I guess, which I'm not gonna. Again, this is 40-degree weather. Be interesting to see what happens in 90-degree weather. All right, we're all done. So there's the trailer, and we're back in the yard. And definitely the front of this trailer is going to have to come down a little bit, and I can just adjust. Let's see if I can do this. These two bolts right here, and just drop that just a little bit. But yeah, anyway, thanks. Up and down the hill, transmission works great. Cooler went just like it's supposed to. Fan came on. It's a balmy, like I said, 40 degrees. Trailer is empty. Let's see how much the trailer weighs. Just to get an idea. Let's see, does it say? I don't see. It's rated to 7,000. Yeah, it doesn't really say how much it weighs. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, but anyway, all good, and I wouldn't be afraid to tow with this, at this point, and I probably will. Climbing the hill the first time with the turbos it's loud. That thing definitely. I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but those turbos sticking up, right here. I mean, you can hear these things wailing away. I mean, if you recall, they're sitting right there, and yeah, you can definitely hear them. And engines working on the real steep hill. I was pushing it pretty good at 55, and it was climbing it. It was just it was an aggressive climb, I guess. Transmission and water temp, the oil pressure was all good. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and like I said, we'll continue milestone after milestone, but XTF tow complete. We did panic stops, lane change, bunch of other just drivability. I'd say overall it drives as good or better than an F-150. Not as good as an F-250, but definitely better, I'd say, than an F-150. It doesn't even have like that porpoise front to back, between the front axle and the rear axle as you go over bumps. Granted, the trailer was unloaded, but it's still back there. I think the Reese hitch, the weight distribution hitch, is a huge deal. It definitely makes the truck a lot more sure-footed, I would guess to say, but overall, yeah, no problem at all. So it took me about 30-35 minutes to swap the truck over with adjusting the springs right here, and with the jack. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse that process now and get back home. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you guys had a great weekend. See ya.